Welcome to MechanEx 2011, a hands-on event featuring the very best in tools, equipment and diagnostics. Events like these bring together technicians from far and wide, and we caught up with 3 to pick their brains on all things techie.
I started with work experience from school in a local garage. From there they offered me a job basically, and then an apprenticeship. And I've been there ever since for the last 21 years.
Started in the industry after working for my father on the farm, believe it or not, and I've always been interested in mechanics, and got into diagnostics from one of ADS's courses after getting to LPG conversions and wanting to know that when people were blaming LPG conversions for the problems with the car, that it wasn't actually the LPG systems that were causing the fault. So I needed to get to know the diagnostic side of things more, and that's how I got into it, really.
Started as a little boy cleaning cars, and then eventually did an apprenticeship program with an ex dealership, and just progressed from there, really.
I think it's very important due to the technology changes in the cars. You need to keep on top of it. I've been currently doing a lot of courses over the past few years to try and keep on top.
Yes, it is, yeah. Quite often thinking I need to go off and do some more training to learn some more techniques to improve my repair rate and the speed that I do it in, really.
Training is important because vehicles are different every year. We get new models up to date. We use a sort of online system which keep us up to date with all the vehicles and that. But yeah, training is definitely the easy way. And if you don't get enough training, you don't know what you're doing. So the more training you get, the more idea of what you're doing, really. So that's the best way.
The challenge, bringing a car in that's dead and getting it running again. It could be a simple fix. It could take you days to fix.
I enjoy most repairing faults, which when they come in, I mean, they don't always tell you, but when you find out it's been to several other garages beforehand, and you find the fix for it and get the satisfaction out of that.
Working in a nice friendly environment. I've worked in places where it's a bit low and you don't feel happy working there, but where you are, and if you're happy to work there, you have a laugh, and that's what matters, really.
We haven't actually purchased any equipment in the last 12 months, but obviously over the years we've purchased several diagnostic equipment. There's not one bit of kit that does it all out there, so we've got a few bits of kit. So
the scope is what I use every day, most days. I'm using it most of the day. That's the most useful piece of equipment I've got, and the investment in the training that we did with ADS. I would have been left behind like a lot of the other garages that we do the work for are, but the training is the biggest thing.
Mainly it's the diagnostic equipment, so it helps you diagnose the fault, and something like the aircon machines and stuff. Without them you can't do the work carried out, so it's just mainly diagnostic stuff, really.
Right, the other day when a Citroen C3 come in, every time you press the brake pedal, the actual radio would go out. The problem with the car was where it had been converted from left to right hand drive. There's basically a series of rods for the brake and clutch pedal that go over to the passenger side. There's a wiring loom that comes down and it actually rubs through on the wiring loom. It's a fairly simple fix, just hard to find.
The top tip would be with the Range Rovers, with the P38 Range Rovers. We get quite a few come in, which are getting a bit old now, but with battery drain faults, and the customers don't usually want to spend a great deal on them. And there's been a modification for the alarm receiver, which was brought out obviously quite a while ago. And what we tend to do is disconnect the aerial to the receiver, which tends to, or usually helps, because it doesn't pick up the stray signals, which is waking up the body control module and causing the battery drain in the first place. And it can be difficult to work out what's causing a battery drain, because quite often it won't happen at your premises. And it's stray signals from people's internet, Wi-Fi stuff and that usually causes it.
Well, on TDI5 engines, based from the Disco range to the new edition, the injector wiring loom gets corroded by the ECU, and that puts up loads of faults and misfiring, so I would check that the first thing to do, really.